Welcome, it's Al. It is Sunday, November 15th, 2020. Thank you for watching today's video. And this is a very directed and pointed video, and I mean that in a good way. I have been MIA, missing in action, since pretty much, honestly, pretty much since September, kind of, sort of. I lost my job due to COVID. I'm not complaining about that. People have lost way more than I have, and I have no complaints about that at all. As a matter of fact, that blessing in disguise for me has been a nice little wake-up call, because I'm back in school and I'm learning IT, and I realize that IT is a huge field, but the course I'm taking is called Full Stack Web Developer, and I'm taking 5 classes. It's a certificate course, so I'm hoping to get a job as soon as in the IT field, as soon as my class is done. But I've been kind of missing in action, and I haven't been keeping up with my daily Today's Tarot videos for you guys, and I miss doing them, and I miss the interaction that brings for me from you guys, because I just love the fact that you appreciate that work, and I do enjoy doing it. I do miss doing it. And so I did put a feeler out there yesterday to remind you guys that I haven't forgotten about you, and I hope you haven't forgotten about me. So I put a feeler out there saying that I would do a 1-card pull for the first 20 people who responded to the post, and I have my 20 winners. Now, I do have to point out, it seems like some people missed the mark, and don't worry about that. You're going to get another chance. Me doing these kind of things is never a one-shot deal. Chances are I will be doing it again sometime soon. So I do want to say congratulations to all of the people that chimed in and are going to get a card pull. So let's get right down to it. All right, let's get right down to it. I was shuffling the deck before I started the video, so I'm going to do one more shuffle and then a 3-card cut, or a 3-pile cut, and then we're going to dive right in. So basically, I'm just going to use the person's name, the person's first name. Although I do have 2 Debbies in today's lineup, so we'll see how that goes. But you guys will all see this. It's going to be a one video. All of you guys are going to be included, so you'll have to be patient and wait for your name to pop up. Okay. All right. First name up, and I'm gonna take these names as they appeared in the feed. Okay. So that I thought that was the only fair and easy way to do it. So first up was Patty. All right, Patty, let's see. For you, and again, like I said, I'm going to do a 1-card pull, and we'll see what happens. Okay? So, oh, nice. So, Patty, you've got the Chariot card, which is actually a really good thing. Now, the hard part about the Chariot, so the Chariot means, Patty, the Chariot means you being in charge, you moving forward, you being the driver, you deciding who, what, where, when, why, and how. Now, I realize that 2020 has thrown all of us a curveball who feel like we're supposed to be in charge of our lives, because we're not. I mean, that's plain and simple. We are really not all that in charge of our lives. But the thing is, while you're still in charge of how you do things, you really do have to pay attention to what the goal is. Where do you want to be? What is the end result? And I think that's why you've got the Chariot card pop up for you, Patty, because it does not matter how you get there, just so long as you get there. The path from point A to point B can be any number of things, can be any number of ways to get there. Small example. If you're in New York and you have to go to Los Angeles, there are a ton of ways to get there. Not only how you get there, meaning plane, train, car. So, I mean, there's a ton of ways to get to Los Angeles from New York. However, there's also a ton of routes to take as well. So there's a lot of different ways to get from point A to point B. It's just so long as you make it. The destination is what's important. So for you, Patty, it is about paying attention to where you're going, not how you're going to get there, not the timing of getting you there, just so long as you get there. So focus on reaching your results. Focus on paying attention to the end result, the goal. It's always about the goal, okay? So pay attention to that. Shivali, happy birthday today. It's your birthday today. I'm so happy that I got to do a card pull for you on your birthday. All right. So, 10 of Pentacles reversed. I'm not sure how. Well, you know what? You know what this makes me feel like? Shivali, I feel like what this does is it kind of puts a sour note on the birthday celebration for today. And what I mean by that is this. The 10 of Pentacles reverse, to me, is about being overly cautious of values, of what things are worth. And the hard part about it is, now I'm not going to ask for age, and I'm not even going to venture to take a guess as to what the age may be. However, it does feel like your birthday today is a magical number. And the hard part about it is you really don't get the chance to spend it maybe the way you want to, and have it mean what it ought to mean today. Prime example, and I'm not making this about me, it is about you. But this year on June 1st, I celebrated my 50th birthday. And I wanted to do a big shindig, and, 2020 hits and the world presses stop, and I sat at home doing nothing. And so it does, for that to be such a magical number, that's actually an achievement for a lot of people, hitting that 50 mark like I did, but not really getting a chance to celebrate it. And it feels to me like with this 10 of Pentacles reversed, you're at this place where you really do have to remind yourself of your own value, of your own worth. And the fact that the outside world has nothing to do with that. And that was something that I had to remind myself as well. So that's something that I think you need to pay attention to also. The outside world has nothing to do with who you are. Remember your inner values, remember your inner worth, and let that be your jackpot, okay? Tony, I'm so excited for the conference next month, Tony. Tony, you've got Justice reversed. So with Justice reversed, for you specifically, I don't think this is a bad thing, but this actually makes me feel like, and I really feel like this is right up your alley, Tony. You can never settle down. You're always doing something. You always have some kind of juggle in the air happening. And I think that's what this Justice card reverse is supposed to be for you. It feels to me like the moment you sit down is the moment that something occurs, or the moment that you miss a thing, opportunity, whatever that might be. And I think to me, that's what sticks most when it comes down to things that you might feel bad about, or you might have a little regret over. The fact that you didn't take a chance on an opportunity. And so I think that's why you've got Justice reversed, because Justice reversed, or justice is about, for me, is about finding balance. It's about making things fair. It's about making things equal. And it looks to me like with Justice Reverse, your thought is, you know what? I'm not looking to create equal. I'm looking to create movement. I'm looking to create wave. I'm looking to make people see things from a different perspective. And I love that when it comes to this card for you. Do continue to do that, but take a small peek as to why you're feeling like that's always a thing for you. I don't think that that means that it's a cure for that, or for finding a cure or a solution to why you always have to jump on opportunities and you can't miss them. I think it's to understand how you can make the most of it when those moments come. Okay. Cariana, oh, I miss you, my favorite money taker. Well, I love you. Anyway. Cariana, you have the 6 of Cups reversed. Immediately, this says to me that you are having severe withdrawals from life. And what I mean by that is getting a chance to be with the people that you love, getting a chance to have that intimacy, have that comfort, have that security. And of course, intimacy, I mean that in the most platonic senses. You're a hugger. You're that person who likes to just be in the mix with people. You're that people person. And so with the 6 of Cups reverse, it feels to me like you're going through a major withdrawal of that. It's difficult when we are people who love to be surrounded by others and love to have that interaction and love to be a part of gathering and connection. And it's difficult when we have to go through those things. But I look at this 6 of Cups reversed, and it makes me feel like when the time comes, when you get to be back inside that circle that you love so much, that connection. And I want to say more like that physical connection. Like I said, you like to be that hugger, and that's okay. That's good, as a matter of fact. And so to me, you're going to look at this year as a moment when you can look back and say, okay, I know what that was. I know how that made me feel, and I'm not going to allow myself to feel that way again. What I'm actually going to do is take advantage of every single moment possible. So you'll look back at this time frame and actually think to myself, or think to yourself, I got to make the most of every single moment of connection that I have with the people who surround me. I got to make the most of those. And I think that's what that 6 of Cups reverse is reminding you to do. Debbie, this is our first Debbie Plunkett. All right, Debbie, let's see what we got for you. Ooh, 3 of Wands. Are you planning on making shifts, Debbie? Because this card says to me, you're looking at the bigger picture. You're looking at where you're wanting to go. You're looking at the options of how to get there, how to make it happen. 3 of Wands is a card that says you're surveying, you're paying attention, you're waiting for your winning moment to happen. And I think that that's where you are right here, right now. But I feel like, more to the point, when that moment occurs, it is going to be more about how to use that winning moment to catapult you forward. It feels to me, Debbie, that you're really trying to pay attention to what you can do once you come through. Now, that could be anything. Once you break through as far as a situation is concerned, a relationship, a moment on the job, a moment with friends, a moment in your love life, there's a breakthrough that is going to occur. And I want you to pay attention to using that moment for every single thing it's worth, because it's going to mean something catapulting for you. I feel like this moment is going to move you forward in the most wonderful senses. So take advantage when that moment happens, okay? Because you really do want to be a part of that, and you really do want to give yourself over to creating a new wave of life for yourself. And I feel like that's what that 3 of Wands is. You're looking for that possibility. It's coming, and take advantage when it happens, okay? Hadia. I hope I'm not butchering that. Let's see what we got for you. Six of Pentacles reversed. I am immediately going to give you a smack on the hand, and I'm going to tell you, stop. Just stop. Draw the line. And what I mean by that is this. I'm certainly not suggesting that you turn your back on the world that you know, but I am suggesting that you press pause. And I'm saying that because this card is a card of giving until it hurts. And a lot of people who are caregivers, a lot of people who are that giver person, they give until it hurts. But the hard part about that is that those people sometimes don't know when to stop giving. And what I mean by that is specifically this: you cannot feed someone from an empty plate. You cannot quench a thirst from an empty cup. And it feels to me like those are the very things that you generally kind of end up doing. You keep going until there's nothing left to give, but yet and still you keep trying. And while I admire that, I applaud that, I respect you for that. You have to know when to stop and focus on replenishing yourself. And that's what this card is letting me know for you, Hada. You have to press pause and take care of you. And I know it sounds selfish to a lot of people in so many ways, but the thing is, if you keep giving to the point of doing so from empty vessels, you're no longer giving. You're being wasteful. And I know that might be a little bit weird to wrap your head around, but the thing is, if you continue to give of yourself until there's nothing left within you, then you, in turn, are surviving on empty. And that's not survival. It's not. That's not care. That's not love. And I realize that sometimes, those things are hard for a lot of us to understand. And we just give. But you have to draw a line somewhere, and you have to learn to take care of yourself first. Okay? So now is the time to focus on replenishment. Now is the time to focus on nurturing and loving and caring for self. All of those things that you do for everybody else, turn that inward. It's all about you right now. And I know that sounds selfish, but it's all about you right now. Pull yourself back together so you can continue to give. Okay? Marlies, let's see what we got for you. Lovers reverse. I want to say, I look at this card and I immediately think to myself, this is not about love. It's not about romance. It's not about anything that falls under the umbrella of love, okay? This is about your decisions. This is about your choices, but decisions and choices that come from love. But it's not about traditional romantic love, okay? So I look at this card and I think to myself, you tend to want to make choice and move forward on that choice, right? But so many times I look at this Lover's reverse and I think to myself, so many times she allows herself to get derailed. She switches gears. She changes her approach. Marlies, you end up maybe not doing the thing the way you wanted to do it because of outside influence, okay? And in the end, it feels to me like the outside influence probably was not what you intended in the first place. Now, I realize that me saying all of these things to you is definitely the epitome of what I am suggesting, because here I'm telling you, stick to your guns. I'm telling you to try to not be derailed, try to continue to move forward on your trajectory. And maybe even that by itself is a form of this, that people influence you to perform in a way that maybe suits them. Now, the two of us don't really have any real connection other than maybe our social connections and the fact that I am suggesting that you stick to your guns. And I know that sounds kind of like, well, you're telling me that I allow people to sway me, and yet you're telling me to do something too. I know that sounds confusing, but what it boils down to, sweetie, is this. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts, trust your gut. And when you do something, when you make a decision, when you make a choice, it should come from love of self, and love of the world that surrounds you. Okay? And stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. You're making proper choices for the right reasons. Okay? Elizabeth. Here we go. Elizabeth, Page of Pentacles, lady. Okay, I'm looking at this Page of Pentacles and I'm thinking about, again, another worth card. Sometimes, the pentacle suit doesn't always revolve around money. And a lot of us, tend to think that it does. And yes, it does. It does mean money. It does revolve around our abundance and our prosperities. But I'm looking at this card for you, Elizabeth, and I'm thinking that you're learning new definitions of worth and value and prosperity and abundance. And I'm thinking what that means is you're at this place where, or you're in a moment where it's about switching gears and elevating your idea of self. And I'm saying that because the Page of Pentacles a lot of times is about a person learning who they are, and is very much in that kind of like learning student mode. So whatever life is trying to teach you, take it with a grain of salt and try to figure out, okay, well, how do I apply this to myself? How do I apply this to the world that I'm living in? How do I apply it to my choices? Okay, because it does feel to me like you're in that space of switching gears, and your sense of self, the value and the worth you hold for yourself, is going to be affected and is going to change, and it's for the better. Okay, so just make sure you kind of like pay attention to what's happening and how you view yourself through those moments, through those expressions, through those experiences. Joanne, let's see here. Nice. You've got Nine of Wands reversed, Joanne. And to me, immediately that says, you know what? I think it's okay for you to let your guard down just a little bit. And especially for yourself. You keep yourself so guarded that sometimes when you feel like you're stuck by the situations that surround you or by the people that surround you, it's really you. You're really the one who puts the kibosh on a lot of the things. Maybe rightfully so. Maybe you're being, you're being cautious and using your discernment to make sure that you keep safe and secure. And that's what our instincts are. That's what that natural survival talent that is given to us, that's what that is. And so I'm looking at this card and I think, it might not be a bad idea to lower guard just a bit so you can allow some changes to occur. I also think that it's probably not a bad idea to go back to the drawing board just a little bit and go over your life plans again, just to kind of like see if you're on track. Chances are, I think with this the Nine of Wands reversed, I think you've switched gears just a little bit and might not even really know that all the way around. So look at things again and see if you're on the right trajectory. If you're not, maybe make some tweaks and allow yourself to move forward. But I do think that sometimes it's not a bad idea to allow ourselves to let the guard down so we can experience life, experience relationship, experience moments. Okay? Joe, my friend. All right, Joe. Nice. The Hangman reversed. And it feels to me like, no, I haven't been paying too close attention, and please forgive me, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but like I said, I've been in a little bit of a bubble here in my home. But I haven't been paying too close attention to what's been going on with you as far as socials are concerned. But I do think that right here, right now, it's time to switch gears. It's time to get yourself ready to change. Now, change is a really weird thing for a lot of people. So many people look at change as a difficult thing and something that is something that you fight against. And some people think that change takes such a long time. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. Change happens like this, faster than I snapped my fingers. It's us getting ready to make that change. That's what takes forever. That's why people say change takes a long time. It doesn't. Change happens faster than a snap of a fingers, faster than flicking a light switch. It's us getting ready to make those changes. That's where things change. That's what takes forever, and that's why we look at change as such a difficult thing sometimes, especially when we're not ready to change people in any way, shape, or form. Some people are who they are, and they don't want to evolve, and that's okay. Some people are constantly changing, those reinvention kind of people. And for me, I feel like those people are kind of like afraid of something else. But for you, senor, it is about getting yourself ready to change. And I think, whatever it is that you're thinking about, whatever it is that you're trying to pay attention to, tighten the focus and figure out how you want to move forward. Because the best part about all of this is the changes are all about you. You've sat back long enough. You've watched the world develop and not pass you by, but you've happily sat on the sidelines and just kind of thought, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to watch and see what happens, and then I'll make my moves from there. And I think the time to make your moves is coming up. Okay, so get ready to make some changes, Joe. Carol Weber now. All right, Carol, let me see what we got for you, sister. Six of Wands reversed. Okay. If you're looking to create some victories in any way, shape, or form, no matter what that might end up having to become, right now, it's all about planning stage. And you know what? I really do feel like in some ways your thought might be, oh, damn, I missed my opportunity, or, oh, crap, that didn't go the way I wanted. But you know what? I think what that means is that it wasn't the proper performance. It wasn't the proper thought pattern. It wasn't the proper plan of attack. And so I'm looking at this card, and it's not a bad idea to go back to the drawing board and refigure things, because doing so is going to help you make a much more solid landing for the goal or for what you're trying to achieve. You're going to get there easier. The win is going to feel so much better. So if you have to sit back and recalculate, that's okay. Okay, do that. Sometimes that's the best way to move forward. Sometimes we have to take those few steps back in order to move ahead, right? So not a bad idea to go back to the drawing board and rethink everything, okay? Karen, I have been loving your Lenormand posts. You are on fire, sister. And it makes kind of perfect sense because you've got Page of Cups reversed. So Karen, for you, it is about finding those fulfillments. It is about you finding those things that can help you feel whole. Now, you are really not the kind of woman who needs outside influences to help you feel fulfilled. I mean, we all could use the kudos here and there and everywhere and appreciations from outside of ourselves, and that feels good. But right here, right now, it is about you paying attention to self-love, looking for the things that help you become who you are, Karen, to further dive deep into your own emotional self. And I think that's what this Page of Cups reverse is reminding you to do. All the things that you're doing should be for a fulfillment of self kind of vibe. Love yourself more. And I know that you do, but I'm just saying going that extra mile. Loving yourself more, caring about yourself more, making sure that you're paying attention to what you do as far as your effect on others. That's something that you have to pay attention to. And I think this Page of Cups reverse is saying it's a good thing to better yourself and do everything you can in order to better who you are. But when it comes down to it, it's all for you. It's all about you, and making sure that you're putting your best you forward for you. This is about loving yourself a lot more and giving to yourself a lot more. I know that sounds selfish, but when it comes down to it, again, bouncing back to another card pull that I did, if you don't take care of yourself, you're no good to anybody else. So focus mostly on you, Karen. I know that sounds selfish, but focus on you. Okay? Renee, Puddin', yay! I'm so happy you were able to get in on this. Oh, Lordy. So, this is, okay. Mind your tongue, meaning mind what you're saying. You're not a harsh person, generally speaking. But I do know that when a line is crossed, when it comes to you and the people who surround you or the situations that you work with, if you're feeling as though you've been stepped on in any way, shape, or form, your vocal is very loud, and it's very pointed. And I think to myself, more than anything, for you, it's not what you end up saying, but to me, I think it's more of what you don't say. And I think that's what makes you a little scarier when it comes down to it, because the King of Swords reverse, while it could be a person who just blathers and just, lets vocal weaponry fly from their mouths, and hurt people in those fashions. And it might not be on purpose. It might just be in retaliation. It might just be in self-defense. But at the same time, you're also that person who, when you don't say something to someone in whatever situation, that's when that person ought to be more afraid. And it feels to me like you're in that space right now where you're either vocally explosive or you are deadpan silent. And either way, the people who surround you should kind of be fearful of that. I want to say, looking at this and knowing you as much as I do, this behavior actually, I think, hurts you more than it affects whoever this is aimed at. So reevaluate this idea of the vocal explosion or the deadpan silence. Because I think when you really break it down, it really hurts you versus anybody else. Okay, so really think about that. Hanlon, what up, bud? All right, let's see. Hanlon, you have Queen of Swords reversed. And so it really is a similar vibe for my friend Renee. But to me, I look at this card and I think, you know what? You should lash out. You should say what you're thinking. You should go out of your way to be that expressive person. Now, of course, there's always a way to deliver without it being abusively harsh. Pardon me, I'm sorry. But you still have to get stuff off your chest. You have to make sure that you vocalize. You have to make sure that that you're not hurting because you're trying to spare other people's feelings. Now, granted, again, like I said, there is always a way to deliver what you've got to say, so it's not brutal. But at the same time, in those moments when you're not saying something about something that's bothering you, that's where you create a worse situation, not only for yourself, but for the people who are involved when it comes down to it. Because moving after that step, that could be the scarier explosion where it's physical. And so maybe it's not a bad idea to get things off your chest right now in the vocal stage before things could turn in a weird physical sense. Okay, makes sense? Yeah? No? Speak up. Say what you got to say, kiddo. Debbie Diaz Phillips. Okay, that's my second Debbie for today. Queen of Cups reverse, Debbie. Oh my, so many reversals and so many people. Like, you know, Queen of Swords, King of Swords. There's like people in reversals today. So, for you, Debbie, this card makes me feel like keep closer guard of your emotions. Keep closer guard of how you feel. Keep closer guard of the expression of those feelings. Maybe everybody doesn't deserve to know how you feel about things. You need to know how you feel about things, and you need to be accepting of that for yourself. But not everybody needs to know who you are and what you're thinking. And so to me, I think for you, it's about emotion. It's about emotional recoil. Pull back into yourself. Focus on how you're feeling with regard to all of the things that are happening around you. How does it affect you? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel about yourself? How does it make you feel about the situation, the people that surround you? Queen of Cups reversed. Our emotions are given to us to help us navigate. And it seems to me like you're really not paying attention to your own emotional GPS. So pay attention to what you're feeling. That's going to dictate how you can move forward. Do what you can to not get lost in your emotions. And sometimes that's not always the easiest thing, but if we can keep ourselves on a concrete space and know who we are emotionally, it makes it easier for us to deal moving forward. Okay? Redhead, Mrs. Fletcher. All right, let's see. Oh, for you, I love it. So Red, looking at the Five of Wands reversed, it's all about joy. It's all about putting the guard down. It's all about, giving up the fight. And what I mean by that is this, not giving up in a fight, but just sidestepping that puppy all the way around. You know what? I don't have time for this crap. Okay? I don't have time to go through these, no matter who that is, no matter what that's about. So make sure you're paying attention to how you're delivering to the world that surrounds you. And do not take any crap from anybody. You don't have time for it. Truly, you really don't. The Five of Wands is about just throwing your hands up and saying, fine, okay, you win. I don't care. Bye. And let that be that. Okay. Let's see. Maria. Oh, Maria, I miss you. Okay, Maria. Hermit. The Hermit card is all about keeping to yourself. It's all about paying attention to who you are, what you are. What do you know? Everything is all about how you're feeling on the inside. And more to the point, it's about you making sure that you're okay. Not so much the world around you, but you. The Hermit card sometimes is that really wonderful card that says it's okay to hide. It's okay to hibernate. It's okay to not be in the public eye. That's okay. It is. It's a wonderful thing to do. And so for you, if you want to hide yourself away and kind of do a hibernation like a mama bear, then by all means, go ahead and do so, because you deserve to do that. And once in a while, we need to pull back from life and just kind of like see what's happening from the outside, and then turn around and think, how does that affect us? How do we want to move forward from there? But right now, it is about you just pulling back and focusing on you and thinking about who you are and what you're looking for, what you want. Make sense, Maria? Okay. Diane, let's see what you got, Diane. Uh-oh. 10 of Wands. Diane, this says to me you might be looking at a little bit of an uphill battle between now and the rest of the year. And I'm saying that because I'm looking at this card, and the 10 of Wands makes me feel like the next 10 weeks might be a little bit of a difficult time frame. I don't know if that's because of holidays coming up and that is affecting you in a really hard way, especially as far as pandemic is concerned, or if that's just because there's so much that you expect to have happen, or that you were expecting to have happen, and maybe it's not going exactly as planned, and so you're going above and beyond to try to make that true. You're going above and beyond trying to make those things occur. And it does feel to me like it is an uphill battle in order to make that happen. The 10 of Wands, I want to say, Diane, the harder you try to make things occur, the tougher it might be to actually create that accomplishment. Now, I'm not saying give up. No, not by a long shot. But what I am telling you to do is maybe be more detail-oriented so that you can get the one thing done first and then move on to the next thing. But smaller steps, maybe. Because the 10 of Wands is all about, so I mean, look at this guy. He is trying to tackle all of that work in one fell swoop. And it feels to me like you do the same thing. So what I really want to point out is it's probably not a bad idea to break things down into way smaller steps in order for you to get the job done. You can do it, but all at once, not going to happen. Smaller steps, you're on your way to success. Okay? Connie! Oh my God. Girl, I don't even know. Okay. Page of Swords. Reversed. And another person card. Connie, you need to kind of keep it to yourself, babe. Keep your mouth to yourself. Keep your ideas to yourself. You know, for as much as you want to go out of your way to express how you're feeling and what you're thinking, more to the point, it falls on deaf ears, sweetie. And the thing of it is I think even you might even be dealing from deaf ears. And what I mean by that is this. You do have a solid view of what you're thinking. You do have a solid view of how you want to vocalize that. And I know that for a fact, seeing it firsthand, having witnessed it. But, maybe think about it just a little bit more before you vocally express. And maybe even more to the point, plan better. Plan. I'm looking at this Page of Swords reverse, and it says to me, she's full of wonderful ideas. She's full of wonderful and amazing experience, but maybe she's really not thinking things through and instead dealing from that instinct or impulsive place. And that's where it all comes from. And I get that. I get it. You are one of those people who you're in a moment and something occurs and you immediately have to respond. But I don't think you always have to. I don't know if that's always a thing. Maybe you don't always have to respond. Maybe you don't always have to share what's on your mind. Let the thing be the thing, and let that be that. So, I don't know. A couple of things to think about, babe. Bo. Okay, this is our last one. Bo, last but not least, let's see what we got for you, babe. Seven of Pentacles reversed. Sometimes, Bo, it's not a bad idea to start all over again. This card is about a person who went out of their way to create. And this is a farmer. So he went out of his way to create a beautiful farm and wonderful crops. But somehow it just didn't get there. And so, Bo, right here, right now for you, it is about maybe going back to that drawing board. Maybe the time of the year that you planted these original seeds wasn't the proper moment for it. The fruition of those seeds, maybe that was not the right time of year. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I don't know crap about farming. I really don't. But I do know that you plant certain crops at certain times of the year for the biggest bounty when it comes to harvest time. And so to me, I look at this Seven of Pentacles for you, Bo, and I think you have been doing things from a very methodical kind of a place, and I get that, but this has not been a methodical kind of a planting year. 2020 has thrown everyone for a loop. And it feels to me like you've kind of been behaving like everything's normal. And I mean that from like your own, like, okay, you do this in January, you do this in February, you do this in March and crap like that. That's what I mean. So maybe it's not a bad idea to rethink things for 2021. You won't be able to do things like you've done them before. Especially as far as time frame is concerned and the amount of attention that each item gets to have. It's going to change. And I think you're well aware of that because things probably haven't produced or come to fruition like you wanted this year, thus far. So switch gears a little bit, sweetie, and see if you can do things on a different scale or at different time frames, or maybe even different crops all the way around. Alrighty, everybody, thank you so much for giving me a chance to do one card pulls for all of you guys. I know that was a lot. That was a really long video. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and I love all of you guys. And I will do one of these again. I think I might do a smaller list, only because of the fact of to be able to produce a shorter video for you guys, and you don't have to wait so long to listen to everybody else's jazz. Happy Sunday, everybody. I love you guys. I hope you guys have happy holidays. And just remember to take care of yourselves.